So there's one more that I'm going to have to add to this list. There's one more. There was a guy that was breaking into the hamburger shop, the hamburger place right next to the library. There was a guy that was breaking into the place, and then the guy saw him on the surveillance, and then he goes there and says, stop what you're doing. Then the guy apparently charges after the guy. He's robbing the place, and the guy says, stop what you're doing, and the guy charges at him, and then that's when the guy shoots and kills him. And then they're going to exonerate him. They're not even going to charge him with a crime. They didn't arrest him. They didn't summons him. He didn't have to pay a bail bond. He didn't have to fight for a preliminary hearing or a dispositional hearing. He didn't have to do any of those things. Now, here in the state of Colorado, if you are charged with a felony, there's a 10-step procedure: arrest, summons, bail bond hearing, advisement of charges, preliminary hearing, dispositional hearing, arraignment, motions hearing, pretrial readiness conference, then a jury trial, then the sentencing phase. There's also a setting, evidentiary hearing, and some other omnibus and some other things that, and then also stop killing people. Stop killing people. So I didn't, when I was thinking about the homicide, when I was thinking about the murder rate, because the murder rate is far too. You want the small town charm. You want the nice small town country charm of Green Acres. But you want the murder rate of Albuquerque. Well, come on down up to the San Luis Valley. Conejos and Costilla County. So just recently we had Jesus Lozano, 51-year-old Jesus Lozano was found shot dead in his house. Shot dead in his house. It's August 2022. So I would like for everybody to agree on a common law for Colorado. Let's all agree that none of us should rob or rape or kill or hit or abuse or bear false witness or arson or kidnap or enslave or torture. And hit is don't jab or bag or grab or drag. Don't jab, bag, grab, drag, or stab. Can we agree on those 10? Don't rob, rape, kill, hit, abuse, don't bear false witness, don't arson, don't kidnap, don't enslave, and don't torture. Even if you don't agree with it, that's Colorado law anyway, so don't you fuckers do any of those goddamn things. Now, let's review. I'll have to get the names for that one murder later on. Because the guy killed somebody, and the guy is dead, and the guy's dead forever. And then his dad was all sad for, months on end. So, besides that one, here's some other murders that have happened. So, Jesus Lozano was just recently, August 22nd. Now, I have just a list here. I'm going to list them off individually and then come back to them. Danny Sanchez had mentioned March 21st, 2022. Somebody had got shot. No names were given. He's the sheriff of Costilla County. So, Sheriff of Costilla County had mentioned on March 21st, so 6 months ago or so, somebody got shot. But again, no names were given. It was from the Alamosa newspaper, but there's a paywall, and it's kind of bullshit. The Alamosa News got a paywall, so really, we don't have as much information around the San Luis Valley as the rest of the country. But without further ado, you had Psycho Barrero, right? Andre Burrows, who killed 5 people. Karina Arroyo, Myron Martinez, Shayla Hamill, Selena Escobel, Xavier Zevin Garcia. At least he's accused of killing at least those 5. I want to say at least 3 or 4 of them. They're pretty sure of it. This was October 2020. So you had a serial killer. You also had possibly a contract for hire killer. Jerry Banks may have killed Gregory Davis in 2018. He was a jailer. He worked for the sheriff's department in 2017 from August to February 2018. He had listed that he worked there part-time still. But he was post-certified 2017, 2018. So, just 6 months. Gregory Davis. And then apparently Gregory Davis is going to get... So, Jerry Banks is alleged to have killed Gregory Davis. And then you had, that was in 2018, David DeLatta. This was just a couple months ago. had killed Omega McCullough. He's in jail right now on a $150,000 bond. So that happened May 29th, 2022. Omega McCullough had been in Costilla County for at least 6 months. David Delata was staying in a tent with his mother on a 5-acre lot. There's a lot of cheap 5-acre lots out there. Christopher Lopez got shot February 3rd, 2021. William Trujillo, Ryan Lopez got charged with killing Roy Cisneros and Virginia Archuleta. That was in Capelin. That was in Conejos County. That was 2019, 3 years ago, July 15th, 2019. 8,000 block, Highway 15, Capelin. And then 2017, it's not the only thing that happened in Capelin. You also had Guadalupe Cervantes and Jose Archuleta, 54, 57, Joey and Lupe, who got shot and killed. Joey and Lupe were shot and killed. Marissa Herrera was shot and killed too. And the only one that survived had injuries to his chest. Donnell Martinez, Kinky. Donnell Martinez was injured, shot in the chest. He's disabled now. I think he was the man yelling in the field. Guadalupe Cervantes, Lupe, 57, Jose M. Archuleta, 54, Joey. So Lupe and Joey was shot and killed by Santos Novares, 25-year-old Santos Novares, apparently because Marissa Herrera had rebuffed his advances. He is going to get jailed for life. He waived his preliminary hearing. He had pled guilty. He had the public pretenders. But they caught him. Santos Novares Ramirez, 25 years old. There was a birthday party. Yeah, so there's some other murders that happened. 2017, 2019. And you had in Conejos, James H. Sprouse at Romeo's Little Market. Romeo's Little Market. Michael Robinson, 35-year-old Michael Robinson, is going to kill 77-year-old James H. Sprouse. Michael Robinson is a goofy-looking SOB. James H. Sprouse, 77-year-old, was buried in his freezer June 3rd to the 12th in 2016. And I want to say he's going to get, a whole bunch of years too. So, Conejos, let's see. So, and there you go. Those are the murders. So, kind of sick and tired of people killing each other. So, if we could agree to stop torturing and enslaving and kidnapping and arsoning, stop falsely witnessing, stop abusing and hitting and killing and raping and robbing. If we can agree on those things, that's a nice little common law for Colorado, I think. Those are already laws in Colorado, so you're not allowed to do those things. But the laws in Colorado go on and on and on. And then, like I said, there was that other guy that got killed. There may be some more in the San Luis Valley, but this is mostly focused on Costilla and Conejos County. And the last thing I want to mention is Psycho Burrows. That guy is a serial killer, right? October 2020, so he killed maybe 3 to 5 people or so. And there was, actually there's a couple things I want to mention about that. But 2 things off the top of my head. There's a mechanic in Antonito. Who said that he knew Andre Burrows. And when I heard, when at first the news had broke and they were chasing the guy because they found these dead bodies, the mechanic in Antonito had said that he knew Andre Burrows, and he said that it was justified. Serial killing, justified. Karina Arroyo, Myron Robert Martinez, Shayla Hamill, Selena Escobar, Xavier Zevin Garcia, they all deserved it. Karina Arroyo, I'll just mention her, 30-year-old Karina Arroyo, she had a nice, pleasant face. She didn't seem like she deserved it. I mean, who knows, what people do, but Karina Arroyo, 30-year-old Karina Arroyo had said or wrote, or she basically predicted her death. She said, this valley will end up killing me. This valley will end up killing me. This valley being the San Luis Valley. will end up killing Karina Arroyo, and I think she was out of Monte Vista. It's crazy that you got all this poverty. You got a lot of cheap land, so you'd have a lot of opportunity. There shouldn't be all this poverty. And I wonder how closely related the criminality and the poverty is, how related those two things are. Having a broken judicial system is something too. So, yeah, this valley is gonna, Karina Arroyo, that's crazy. You say it's fucking justified. I think you knew Andre Psycho Barrows and, the guy, the fucking mechanic. I mean, I didn't think nothing of it, but I wonder if he was just saying it to try to scare me or some shit. Because if it's like it's justified, good, right? Somebody stood up to somebody else and it was justified. But this is a serial killing son of a bitch. So, R.I.P. to all the victims. Let's see, Christopher Lopez, he got killed February 3rd, 2021 on Alfonso Street. This one actually made me give confidence to Danny Sanchez in the Sheriff's Department because he talked a lot of shit, this Christopher Lopez, about police and really everybody. And Josiah Medina, Thomas Espinoza, Marcelo Gamboa, they're all arrested, had $100,000 bonds. So they arrested some people. They had some suspects, and eventually they got down to an arrest. But it made me a little bit worried because Christopher Lopez was no friend of the police, and now they have to do an investigation about somebody that is not their friend or family. And in their minds, they may, drag their feet. They may shrug their shoulders and just rationalize the damn thing, or maybe they'll actually do their job, and they actually made some arrest. So I was, somewhat impressed with that. David Delata, apparently, according to David Delata, it was self-defense. And if it's, not self-defense, then is it cold-blooded? Well, it didn't seem like he was just trying to rob him, because if you're going to rob somebody, so it doesn't seem like it was just cold-blooded to rob the person. But it could not be justified, right? So you really have to look at it. I want to know all the details, the years preceding, the months, the days, the weeks, the days, the hours and minutes, almost to the second. I want to know everything that happened, from, I guess, 5 years on back up until this moment. And then I want to hear, him talk about it, him explain himself. And then I think from those two things, if I had both him hearing him explain what had happened and then him having some sort of timeline, a 5-year timeline, that'd be I think the only way that I as a juror could acquit. So there you go. Jerry Banks, alleged to have killed Gregory Davis. David Delata killed Omega McCullough. Christopher Lopez was killed. Josiah Medina, Thomas Espinoza, Marcelo Gamboa were all arrested for it. Jesus Lozano was killed. Nobody knows yet. No arrest, no suspects that were told. Now, there is Southwest Costilla County. I would be very suspicious of the Zins and Capon, and there's a guy named Bertini, Robert Bertini. I'd be very, very suspicious of those guys. Those guys have shown me nothing but criminal. They would be the usual suspects. If I'm a police officer, they think it's okay to go around driving and killing people's dogs and damaging property and doing drive-bys and just harassing, stalking, spotlighting, just a bunch of dumb shit. So that would be my, go to who do I suspect, but I don't know, this situation or anything. All I know is that there's a lot of crimes that happen out there, and they, show me that they have criminal inclinations and they're criminally minded. So I'm just saying that would be the first. If I canvass the neighborhood, those would be the first people I would knock on their doors and ask them, hey, what the hell? What the hell? So there you go. Michael Robinson killed James H. Sprouse. Not sure about who got killed at the hamburger place. William Trujillo, Ryan Lopez is going to get arrested for killing Roy Cisneros and Virginia Archuleta. Santos Navarez is going to get life for killing Guadalupe Cervantes, Jose Archuleta, and Marissa Herrera. Donnell Martinez is injured. And RIP to Xavier, Selena, Shayla, Myron, and Corina.